Powered Gear.
Next up is Powered Gear, Strategic Variant Armour Equipment, the Japanese version of Armoured Warriors. Why the Japanese version? Because only the Japanese version was included in Capcom Arcade Stadium. If the mechs in this game look familiar, it's because this game is the predecessor to Cyberbot's Full Metal Madness. The mechs were carried over, though the pilots were not. The game is set in the year 2282. The year before, a 50-year war between the United Earth Government and Principalities of Raya came to an end. But recently, the Ryan capital has been taken by an unknown enemy, and our 4 playable characters have been sent to liberate it and save the Ryan people. For the first level, I'll be playing as the AEX-10M Blodia, piloted by Jeff Perkins. I had to look up a long play for the English version to know what's going on here. Our first mission has us landing on Raya to liberate the city Coral from the enemy, the Melkede. So we start Mission 1, Deserted Town. As we land, we're told that the enemy is hiding in the city's central building 10 kilometers away. I can move, jump, attack with whatever arm I have equipped, and shoot whichever gun with limited ammo I have. Along with our main enemies being various models of the Gates mech, there's full of soldiers around that I can just drive over to kill. There are some walking bomb things I easily swat away. I then get a message from this guy, Burns. He says he'll have an enhancement module waiting for me in the next area if I pick up this transceiver. As I take on the next group of enemies, I work out I can pick up and throw them, and also use this crowd control barrier thing that drains health. One of them drops its arm, but I don't notice and clear out the enemies, finishing Area 1. Inside the building we meet a guy with a large black mech. The purple dude says that we humans can't do shit to him and gets in the mech, the Warlock. He has most of these same movement options I have, along with dual gun arms and the ability to create a drill thing with a running kick. He also has a charging attack while covered in electricity, but he's only the first boss so he isn't hard. That's Mission 1 complete and the Ryan people in the background here saved. The Warlock's pilot gets up, warns us that we're still gonna lose, and leaves. We then get a message from this old guy, Gallagher, warning that a huge amount of enemy ships have landed on Earth, so we'll have to postpone our fights on Raya for a bit. This leads to Mission 2, Win Back. I'll be playing as the SVA-6L Reptos, piloted by Ray Turner. New York has been wiped out, with the main enemy force being 290 kilometers to the west. While the Bloody was the all-rounder for newcomers, the Reptos is the speedier one, built to favour close combat. I land in this level with the drill arm I picked up in the first one. Rather than a punch combo, this arm has one singular powerful drilling attack. Joining the gates are the Toatus, smaller mechs wielding claw arms. I try to pick it up when it drops, but fail as the screen scrolls me into this flooded street. I even get some normal soldiers try fighting me by flying themselves straight into my drill. Here I salvage myself a new cannon from a defeated Gaze. I replace the basic Vulcan with a missile, which has less ammo but is far more destructive. Maybe it's due to me being used to the game now in this playthrough, but I'd say I enjoy playing as Reptos more than Blodia. During the next group of enemies, I manage to get myself a claw. They extend out and can cause damage doing so, but if you get the distance just right, you can grab an enemy to repeatedly slam them against the floor. That was the last one, finishing Area 1. We come under fire from enemy reinforcements, so we have to take shelter in a nearby building, starting Area 2. But the building is unstable and a nearby unit of ours is being crushed, leaving me 80 seconds to reach them before they're wiped out completely. During this I get another new enemy, the Valimes, that move on treads and have huge spiked ball fists. They leave behind said treads and I can take them for myself, replacing my legs. They help me move faster and change my jump and dash attacks, but I don't need it here as I quickly wipe out the enemies and finish Area 2. Burns lets me know that the unit was able to escape. The main enemy force is just a little further and he drops me some health and a laser blade arm. Area 3 starts with me dropping underwater and finding the mech that destroyed the city. This is the Agmis. It can spit out explosive drones and spin its tentacles at high speed while chasing me. The laser blade is a fun weapon. It has an actual combo like the default arms, and by just being a lightsaber, it's automatically satisfying to hit things with. Rapidly tapping the button can also make it fire a small beam. I also get to demonstrate the spinning spiked attacks the treads grant me while dashing and jumping. It isn't long before I've destroyed all but 2 of its tentacles, at which point it starts jumping around and trying to stab me with them. Being killed makes me drop my upgrades and return to my default equipment, but I can get them back if I pick them up before they disappear. At this point the Agmis is also firing missiles and jets to push me backwards, but I got my missiles back so I can keep hitting it until it's destroyed. New York has been cleared out, but the enemy is now gathered in a scrap works in Los Angeles. This starts Mission 3, Chase. Here I'm playing as the AEX-10H Gulden, piloted by Glenn Reed. The enemy are approaching and so I have to switch to shooting mode to deal with them. This turns the first area of the mission into an auto-scrolling shooter where I have infinite ammo. We have 2 versions of these orb robots, some with legs, others that fly. There's also these little wheels that pass by that I can blow up for some gold bricks. That's about it, and this section is over before you know it. This takes me to the factory containing the enemy's main unit, and so Area 2. The Gulden is the slowest mech in the game, but to make up for it has high attack and defense. Normally I don't like characters in beat 'em ups that are too slow, but there are ways to get around it here like the treads. Moving past the first group, the foot soldiers have had a go at using little mechs themselves, but it still doesn't help them survive a single hit. For a bit, not much new happens, mainly fighting gates with laser blades. This is followed by a whole screen of flying Toatus who all have one go at attacking me before they leave the screen for good. After them I meet a big new mech, the Argori. They mainly try to either steamroll me or jump on me, but it's not hard to deal with. Taking it out and the Toatus backing it up finishes this area. As I land in Area 3, I'm confronted by a massive tank. This is the Rad. It moves slowly, dropping mines around, but can jump as well. Its arm cannons both have their own separate health bars. Despite the sheer amount of cannons it has, it doesn't like to use them. Instead it prefers to jump on me or just slap me with them. I take off one arm and only when it's near death does it start using those cannons, firing a huge missile from the top one. I pick up the bomb gun I haven't talked about yet, but it's too late as I take out the boss seconds later. With the Earth distraction dealt with, we can return to Raya. We're starting with the ruins of Old Poto, starting Mission 4, Forgotten Ruins. For this I'll be the final character, the AEX-12J40, piloted by Sarah White. The enemy is jamming our radar in here, so we'll have to find our way around. 40 is the weakest mech in the game in both attack and defense, but it's the fastest. As I said, there are many ways to make up for bad speed, which I feel makes 40's main perk kind of irrelevant, so this one is my least favourite to play as. It's mainly the same enemies until I reach a wall. These big mechs throw some bombs in and leave, there's the Neem, this weird bug thing, and then there's the Jage, which hovers. Destroying it has it drop its turbojet, which I can use. This is a fun one. It's faster than the treads and has a very satisfying attack when dashing. Shame I lose it not far in. After taking out more returning enemies, including fighting 2 Argoris at once, Area 1 is completed. Area 2 has me enter the ruins. I pick up a new gun from the gates in here, a laser. The smallest amount of ammo, but it's a good one. A long laser that stays on screen for a while and does very good damage. The next lot of gates have another new weapon, the flamethrower. It behaves exactly as you'd expect. I just keep heading deeper into the ruins, facing more of the same enemies until the screen stops, when I reach a wall with a hole in it. A Valimes comes out and I assume the resulting fight was too gory, as the footage corrupts and comes back in with them dead and me having already moved further in. In this stretch we get the insect, named for walking on 4 legs. If I kill one I can take those legs for myself. Dash attacking has them spin like blades, and doing so takes out the last enemy and finishes this area. We can use our radar again, but the boss drops through the ceiling. This is the Skuld. It can attack with a stinger on its tail and rapidly punch at me with its front legs. I easily chew through a third of its health with these legs, making it turn red. It doesn't stay red long as I take out another third and make it go green. This is when it starts to send out waves of electricity along the ground. For about a second after killing a gate, I pick up the chain spark it drops. This is kinda slow, sending out a single electrical attack. I prefer not to use it when given the choice. Not long after, the Skuld is destroyed and the mission is completed. The enemy is now transporting their weapons through Raya's old rail system. Mission 5, Railroad in Flames. Back to Gul'din for this one. To start with, we have a bee worker that fights with a shield arm. I can take it when I kill it, but this is my 3rd playthrough and I know I don't enjoy using them. I keep making my way across the rail tracks, taking out many returning enemies without much new. I actually end up picking up a shield because I realise, what if the playthrough I show for this level doesn't have any footage of me using it? So there it is. I still don't like it. Right after this, we reunite with the Warlock and its pilot, Azrael. He deems us worthy opponents, but we don't give a shit about him. The shield fires a stream of bullets and missiles. That looks cool, but it just never clicked with me playing with it. The Warlock has gained some new moves. He'll jump into the air and shoot a claw into the ground to send electricity everywhere. This is the first time in this video we get to see me lose my arm completely, only able to throw a weak jab with the surviving one. The Warlock can also grab me with its claw and electrocute me. He even has his own fighting game dive kick. Not long after, I take him down. Azrael says we're too late, as a train filled with heavy weapons is on its way to their main unit. He then escapes, leading into Area 2. We're now chasing the train down in shooting mode. I have a lot of returning Neems while shooting at that train under a time limit. It's covered in soldiers and has 2 cannons at front to keep me away. I run out of time in this playthrough and the train gets away. A new unit we didn't know about drops in, and it turns out the train was camouflaging this blue mech. It's the mission boss, Hellion. It skates around the screen firing lasers. It can also fire lasers from its elbows and swap to a helicopter mode to try and get out of my reach and also fire its machine guns. Another attack it has is to release these floating balls that create big blue explosions. Another helicopter attack it has is using its dangling legs to rapidly punch. It takes a while, especially since the drill doesn't seem to damage it much, but I eventually take it down. We've now reached the enemy base and have to free the captive Ryans and destroy all their equipment. Mission 6, Truth. Back to Reptos for this one. First I fight a small wave of enemies outside the gate. Once I'm done I break through and find my attempt at sneaking in has already failed, and there's a huge army waiting for me. I have to fight through several pairs of gates. Good thing they insist on only attacking me in pairs. After them is a trio of Velimes. Once they're down, Area 1 is done. At the start of Area 2, we find the imprisoned Ryans and discover that they're turning them into cyborgs. So as I move along this level, I can smash open these cells to save the Ryans. I've somehow never noticed during all 4 playthroughs until watching it back to write this, but to save the people I have to move into them to collect them. I had no idea I was even doing that, I was so focused on the fighting. So if you're wondering why I'm just abandoning loads of them, yeah. Once I've emptied the cells and cleared out all the enemies, I jump down several floors and fight through a wave of Toatus until I find these people. Here we can see the machine performing the conversions. I take out the enemies and smash open the machines as I keep moving forward and ignoring the people I'm supposed to be saving. I smash all 3 machines and reach a wall where I have one last big wave to take out. Take them all out here and that's Area 2 done. I break through the door here and come face to face with Azrael once again. He commands the base and intends to make us the next test subjects. He leaves, dropping in a pair of Argories. This is the entire Area 3, I take them both out and it's done. I catch up to Azrael again and after more posturing he gets in the Warlock one last time. He retains many of his attacks from the last battle with some extra. He can jam his claw into the ground to send out several rings that chase after me and explode on contact. He also has more health, but I get him eventually. No escapes this time, the Warlock explodes and Azrael is killed. Now the enemy's main forces are trying to escape Raya on their battleship, but we're not letting that happen, we're going to bring them down before they can escape. This leads to the final mission, Starry Ocean. Back to Blodia as we land on the battleship. No sub-areas here, just one long level with a 10-minute time limit. I make my way across the runway, even picking up a new gun type, the guided missile. I take out the thrusters at the end and jump to the next level. As I fight my way across, doors open to let even more enemies out. I suppose if I had just one criticism of the gameplay, is that there isn't much enemy variety, as there's nothing new here. But at the same time, I only really notice it now writing this script and keeping an eye out for anything new, so it's not a huge problem. After this stretch, I jump up to a higher section once more. Last part was a load of gates and Toatus, but here was a load of insects and Velimes. Eventually, I reach this huge computer and blow it up. This reveals the game's true villain, the Mother Brain. Okay, that's the 4th Mother Brain I'm aware of in games now, after Metroid, Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star 2. The actual main structure with the face is what takes the damage, but she also has 2 robot dragon heads she can breathe fire with. Not just that, but they can also slam their faces on the ground to fire several pink lasers from both sides. I could attack the arms, but I went for brute force on the main body, keeping up close hoping to avoid anything long range. I defeat the Mother Brain and it explodes, but it isn't done yet. It tries to escape by breaking off the rear deck, but we follow and take it on for one last phase. There are now cannons moving along the top and bottom of the screen and the 2 arms have also been swapped for a laser cannon each. We have lasers coming from the sky, drones firing electricity, bombs being dropped. But I just ignore all that and keep punching it in the face. You can destroy the lasers, but they'll come back. I just keep punching until... With its dying words, the Mother Brain lets us know that it was created by humans of Earth to be better than them. It explodes and leaves just the face, which dies soon after. The ship starts to explode without the Mother Brain keeping it going. Galagar calls, having a rescue ship ready for us. They're also prepared to destroy the ship before it can crash into Raya and cause even worse damage. As they drift away, Jeff wonders where Earth was hiding such a powerful army. Ray meanwhile can return to Raya and help rebuild, with the others promising to chip in. We then end on a photo of the group when they land, along with the unnamed operator who's been giving us orders. There are endings, but to get them you need to go through the entire game with no continues, and I wanted to like this game so I wasn't doing that, especially not 4 times. Essentially, the entire invasion was secretly by Earth forces and the devastation caused to Raya led to them surrendering their power to Earth. Once the main cast discovered the truth and their role in the invasion, they either retired in disgust or were discharged and went on to just live civilian lives. Jeff became a racer, Ray wrote a book about his experiences, Glenn became a gambling addict, and Sarah did volunteer work and got into skydiving. They'd already lost and so they couldn't really do much else. I do hate it when just normal ass endings are hidden behind stuff like this, especially in arcade games that are designed to be bastards. It's probably the biggest mark on the game for me. I had fun though, and that's because I didn't go for that challenge. Powered Gear is a really fun game. I love how there are so many ways you can play differently with all the combinations of arm, gun and base possible. It's a great looking and sounding game, and it just feels good to smash things with your giant robot. And despite my annoyance with how the endings are handled, I do like the bittersweet twist at the end. I've never actually played Cyberbots either, so that's another one I'll be looking forward to getting to. I'm curious as to how much of a continuation it is in the story department, if at all.